Hello everybody, I've got enough energy left in me to do maybe one more video for the evening. So with that, I figured I'd cover, I think, lesson 3 in the Nihongo challenge textbook. Lesson 3 covers 3 grammar points. Te kudasai, te kara, and ta koto ga aru and ta koto ga nai. Now, te kudasai is arguably one of the more important grammar forms to know in Japanese, as this particular form of grammar or phrase is critical for learning any language for that matter, being how to say please, right? Now typically you can also hear the words onegaishimasu to refer to like asking for someone a favor, or just a general like please. This is a statement for a favor. But if you want to modify a verb to say, I want you as a favor to do this action for me, you need to change the verb and then append kudasai at the end of it. So in order to make a verb compatible with the kudasai ending, we have to convert it to its te form. The te form of the Japanese verb is arguably the backbone of the language. Te verbs and their rules, I think I could definitely just do a general video on that too. Once I'm done recording these and uploading these and editing these, if somebody in the comments reminds me down below, I'll definitely do that. Because come tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to forget. But besides the point, depending on the verb you have, usually ru verbs are the easiest ones, because with a ru verb you can just, like osieru in this first sentence here, I'm going to write it in the hiragana, right? So osieru, to teach. If you want to change your ru verb into the te form, you just replace the ru with a te. And now it's in the te form of that verb. Neru, another verb here that gets used later on. We could use or change that to nete instead of neru, right? Aruku is another verb. Ku verbing, ku verb endings transform from ku to ite, so aruku becomes aruite, right? That's one of the other pickles. Verbs that end in u by itself, like arau, meaning to clean. Those that u in arau becomes a te, a hard te. So this becomes ara. That's terrible. Ara te, like that, right? Totte, another verb. I know this is very tangential, but I'm just trying to make a point about it. This is the verb for to record, toru. Now it's not a ru verb, even though it ends in ru, and it's not a ru verb because of the behavior with the te conjugation. So toru becomes totte. Let me write that a little bit better. It's totte, right, when we write it out. So that's what happens there. Anyway, if we want to do te kudasai for any verb, we just take that verb, we convert it to the te form of it, and then we can then express the please can you do this thing for me. So in the first sentence we have mamaredo no sukurikata o oshiete kudasai. Can you please teach me how to make marmalade? So mamaredo, marmalade, no sukurikata. So when you have a noun no sukurikata, it would be how to make this thing. So how to make something is surikata. how to do something would be yarikata or shikata. I think shikata is more common. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but that's a verb form that could be for a later video. That's like N3 level, I think. Yeah, so 教える becomes 教えて, and then we append ください to the end of it. So the whole sentence becomes ママレードの作り方を教えてください. Right? Second sentence, 夜には公園を歩かないでください. Now, you can say to not do something, and the way you say to not do something is that instead of changing it from the stem or the dictionary form into the take form, you just write the negative form and then append a de at the end of it. So, 歩かないで. So instead of, so like, please eat would be 食べてください. Please do not eat. 食べないでください. The nai form is a little bit easier because you don't have to think about conjugating the te form of the verb itself. So that's how you would express sentences or verbs that you want to ask someone to do a particular thing for them in a very straightforward, pretty casual manner. Later on down the road, we're going to get to things like moral, ageru, kudaru, which add levels of basically caste, for lack of better words, into your language by distinguishing your seniors and your individuals who are below you socially. It's like kids versus your boss. And that's a fun lesson in and of itself. The second formation of grammar that I'd like to talk about is the te kara form. Now, te kara means after doing a certain action. Now, some textbooks include the form ato de. That also means after, but that one's more for like an introductory prepositional, not prepositional, introductory prepositional phrase. So, after going to school, 学校に行く後で, right? Something happened. But the difference between that in particular, that particular phrase, is that it's kind of a placeholder. Like, you're just establishing when things are going on. With this one, you can't use te kara after a sentence because then you're making a clear cutoff between when these two events particularly transpired. So, for example, sentence number 3, このビデオを撮ってから寝ますよ. After I make this video, or after I shoot this video, I'm gonna sleep, or I will sleep. Right? So we take 撮る, change it to 撮って, and then we add から. So after I record, 撮ってから. このビデオを撮ってから寝ますよ. Right? And then sentence number 4. 新しい制服を洗ってから. I'm going to put から there. 期日見ました. Well, it's a little bit hard to say. Actually, let me fix this here. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. 新しい制服を洗ってから期日見ましたよ。残念ですよ. So, after I washed my new uniforms, it shrunk. 期日見ます or 期日む. Or no, it's 期日. Oh my god, it's not 期日む. I completely botched the pronunciation on that one. Once again, it's 2:30 in the morning. The verb is 期日む. My bad. I'm trying to put it in like the present progressive tense for some reason in my brain, so I think that's why I'm messing up the pronunciation. Oh. There we go. That's not a very common sound in spoken Japanese, is that guy. Chizumu. Chizumu. I practiced before this, I promise. I'm just not having a good time with it. So anyway, the breakdown. Once again, after I washed my new uniform, 新しい制服を洗ってから縮みました。It shrunk. And then I just had like the little, oh, 残念ですよ. That's such a shame kind of thing. 残念 is a frequent phrase you might hear in response to something bad happening. Like, oh, you couldn't make it to the concert. That's such a shame. 残念ですよね. 残念だよ. Or you might hear 大変ですよね. Well, that sounds really difficult. 大変そうだよ. Things like that. It's just a little expression, good to have in your vocabulary, in your back pocket. So, all in all, 3 topics. てください, てから, and then I forgot the third one almost. たことがある and たことがない. This is similar to the ことがある and ことがない form that we studied in the last video, except the modifying verb to the phrase ことがある here, for ことがない, is going to be in your past tense, affirmative tense. So, to say that you have not done something, we look at sentence 1 here. 一度も温泉に入ったことがありません. So, 一度も, not even once. 温泉に, an onsen, like a hot spring. 温泉に入った, 入る, past tense in the dictionary form, or the past tense plain is 入ったことがありません. So, let's not worry so much about 縮む here. So, 入る becomes 入った, right? Oh no, big bird. Hold on, little buddy. Okay, there we go. 入ったことありません. So, I have not gone into an onsen even once. Right? Like, not even once have I ever been in an onsen. So, that's how you make the negative construction here. Even though this verb is affirmative, and if we were to cut off the sentence right here, then this would be like, oh yeah, I've been in an onsen once. 一度温泉に入った. I went to an onsen once. Or I entered into an onsen once. But because you have the ことがない or ことがありません at the end there, now you're clarifying something that has not happened yet. Right? And then conversely, I kind of use a similar one. せめて一度メキシコに行ったことがある. I have been to Mexico at least once. せめて meaning at least as a sort of qualifying statement. To my recollection, that's how you use せめて. It's been a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. But no, actually, let's just do a live reaction. 過去さそうたつてと海の動かない創生せいぜいする. Yep. せめて. Also another excellent work. So another example of せめて. 夏はせめて1週間ぐらい休みが欲しい. I'd like at least 1 week of vacation in the summer. Anyway, that's what せめて means. Yep. Well, anyway, with that in mind, we can kind of put a pin in this particular lesson.